That's a good girl. On your knees for me. Hi, how y'all doing? It's good to see you. Oh, I angled a little bit too far down there. Hello. Like this? I think that's... Yeah, that's a little bit better. A little bit more what we're looking at. Hi. Lower! Alright, yeah, you want... What? There you go. Is that what you were looking for? You little freak. Hey, sorry I'm late. Was dealing with the thing? What kind of... Well, you don't have to tell me, actually. I hope that the thing is dealt with and that you're doing okay now. That you're feeling alright. I have 2 bits of good news and 1 bit of bad news. Which do you want first? Bad news first, then 2 good news. Quite sizable freak. Yeah, not from my perspective. Egads, I think that woman might be a homosexual. It's possible. Hi, V. How are you doing? Can neither confirm nor deny. Gay. I want to fight a bitch. I'm not going to go into detail because it's not my position and I've already sent messages to those whose job it is. Not in your community, so don't worry. But I just found out about some disgusting abuse and I want to fight this person. Oh no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm glad to know that it's not us. That's a plus. That's big ups. If it is, I'd have to start an inquisition immediately. We love a little. We get a little inquisition as a treat. Mont Blanc, hi! I just responded to one of your messages. Oh, that's Ferris. Rebrand? Ferris, Rebrand? What's up? Hi. How are you doing? Can I run the Inquisition? You usually do, yeah. You're like the go-to ban mod. No? Hey, good news, hell yeah. We can have a little inquisitorial oversight, as a treat. Doing pretty swell. Watched the sunrise this morning before bed, sitting on a bench at the pier, smoking one of my Yiddish Beglish Papyros, aka my Jewish faggy cigarettes. Lovely. I love it. First bit, I finally heard back from the group that might help me move, and I'll be talking to them on Sunday. Oh, fuck yeah, that's huge. Mark, how's it going? Hi. How you doing, Tep? What you up to? Yeah, that working out would be pretty fucking huge. Second, we're all aware of Finster. Yes, I am aware. I am aware of the largest trans streamer on Twitch. Yes. I don't think that's an exaggeration, right? I don't think so. I don't think there's not a bigger trans streamer than Finn. No way. Donated a bunch of money to Seattle Voice Labs for voice lesson scholarships. I did not know that. You got chosen for a scholarship. Oh, that's super cool. Fuck yeah. That's rad, Ashley. I'm so proud of you. Finster, I'm joking. Let's see. It turns out that my nice Jewish combat doll has tickets to the same play party as me. Oh, fuck yeah. And that her and my lover, C, are getting along very well after I deliberately set them up together. We love to see it. Finster came out as trans and immediately became the largest trans streamer on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, Mazel Tov, exactly. Congratulations, that fucking rules. We love to see it. That's rad as hell. I love interacting with two people at a party and then letting each one know that the other is a fantastic kisser. That is a good way to set somebody up. That's strong. That is not entirely detached from how Faith and I got together for the first time. Wait, hold on. Did you all just hear that? Puppy needle confirmed? I don't know what you're talking about, V. I think you're gaslighting me again. It could never be. That's your fan fiction is ridiculous. I'm so sad that I live in an area where play get-togethers are super rare and hard to find. That's like most areas. Unfortunately, there are not like a lot of really good oh, Polly. But also, still, yeah. And my fanfiction was very well received. You're just jealous that you're not in it? That's so true. You're so right. That's great that there's like an 18 plus T4T play party here. Yeah, that's super rad. I'm jealous. I wish there were similar things where I am. What else did I have? I have my IDs. Perfect. Mark, you can't be agreeing when I say that you're jealous that I don't write porn about you. Why not? I like all forms of fan fiction about me, pretty much. It's great. 'I live in Montana. There barely are trans people here. To be fair, there barely are trans people in most places. We just all concentrate into tiny little areas in those bigger zones, you know? Y'all got Zoe Zephyr, though? That's true. Gonna write more porn now, gonna be Finn in it? No! Don't. I like all forms of fanfiction about me, pretty much. Me when someone points out that the Jewish character is an offensive stereotype. New York City does have like the largest trans population in the country. Yeah, I expect that. That tracks. Zoe and her wife are freaking rad. I will give you that. That's very true. I read about both of them. They are both kick-ass ladies. Fanfiction was very well received. Can't be agreeing when you're jealous. Dump estrogen in the water supply in my head. Shake my head. Change the bees you want to whirl in the sea. Damn, okay. This is good news, Mark. We could be bees. I wish you weren't a politician because their unhinged shitposts are top tier and I wish you could give us more. Valid. Based. Correct. Where did else did we go here? Body Hack was last night, so like hundreds of trans people all gathered together, falling in love, smoking weed, shining in a brilliant constellation of humanity. Smoked a blunt for the first time last night and got into a heated debate with one of my lovers over when the concept of a nation came into being. That is actually a really, really good debate to have. Mark, did you see that we held Super Earth? I heard. I heard. Congratulations. That's pretty rad. Now we have to see what the Illuminate are going to do next. I played for a day, you know, during the defense of Super Earth. I did my part. Heated debates are a key part of building up enough aggression towards each other to have morally questionable hot sex. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. That is such a hot debate. If I could get in a debate with my SO over that, we would so get freaky. No, I agree. 100% I'm in on that. You want to, like, that's like a super contentious topic with, I feel like, no clear answer. That's great debate material. I also rewatched Lilo and Stitch and cried. I need to watch that movie again. I maintain that the concept of a nation must innately predate the composition of the Torah, which was fully compiled long before the 2nd century CE, given how heavily the Torah deals with it. That is a compelling argument. I could see there is a path to victory there. I think the argument against that would be arguing for what a nation, like, definitionally is. Morally questionable hot sex is great, and I wish past me had a better relationship with it. You know, that's fair. That's fair. I think most of my hot sex was morally questionable pre-transition. I can't get over the posts about just how awful the new movie is. I don't see them often, but when they show up, I fully agree. Yeah, the new Lilo and Stitch movie looks like a nightmare. Like the fact they ruin every aspect of the original story. Yeah, nothing is I don't know, there's no like heart to it. It is just like solely like corporate nostalgia bait. It's really wounding. I spent a few days kvetching about the new live-action Lilo and Stitch being racist and borderline genocidal, and then realized that instead of complaining about it, I could go watch the good one. Yeah, fair enough. Just amazing what slop gets made via corporate boredom compromise. I feel like I like the statement the new live-action Lilo and Stitch is racist and borderline genocidal is one of those things that if you're talking with a bunch of people who are used to talking about these things, is like a totally sane conversation to have. But if you dropped that in front of somebody who isn't used to like debating like the like nitty gritty niche like definitional fringes of terms like that, that sounds like a totally unhinged statement. Like, just amazing what slop gets made by a corporate boardroom compromise, for sure. Yeah. See, one of the things that makes these debates so heated is that they get bogged down so heavily in semantic debate. Well, that really is it. Well, if your argument is when was a nation, like when was the concept of a nation first created, you have to define what a nation is in order to have that conversation. And I think most of the debate hinges on what that definition is. They completely removed the anti-colonial themes. That's what I heard. I thought it was a joke when I saw that Nani gives up Lilo. Wait, what? Is Lilo away at the end of the Lilo and Stitch? Are you serious? For real? That's insane. What is sex is another good one. I love what is sex debates. What is sex is a fascinating thing. Yeah, obviously, I love nitty gritty semantic bullshit. I talk about like attraction and hotness as like you know, hotness, attraction, whatever it is. On the like all the time, like getting into weird like definitional bullshit on it. What is sex is one of my favorite conversations to have about that. Define love is also really good. Yeah, that's another good one. Merc can't wear crop tops that are too short because she allegedly has 8 nipples. According to who? You? Are you the one alleging it? Are you the only one alleging it? This is like provably false. There are pictures of me naked on the internet, in my Discord and other sites that I post on. My argument was that nationality also lends really heavily into beef. That's true. Nani gives Lilo to the neighbor and then goes to the Imperial Core to study marine biology. What? What? That's deranged. That's nuts. For me, sex is that gif of the hamster getting poked and it turning around and trauma screaming, "I'm the hamster." I think you gotta work on that, Donna. 8, cat girl proven. I'm not, no, what? Like, are you allowed to have sex with friends, or do I have a lot of weird friends, Lamau? I would say that you're allowed to have, this is another thing. I am like a relationship structural anarchist, where like, for me, like, friend and like lover are not mutually exclusive terms and are not like, one does not like disbar the other. Like I have very like fluid relationships generally. That's not to say that I end up hooking up with every friend I have, but like very few friends that I have or like people that I know are like in that hard no like mind space, and that would exclusively be because of like statements made or like other relationship like ties and stuff like that, you know? She should simply not have done that. Yeah, I agree. So wish I was fucking with you right now. That's deranged. Ohana now means fuck you, I got mine, I guess. Yeah. That's so crazy. You can have sex with friends if the friends are on board with it. Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is that capitalism is founded on the dissolution of familial and community bonds. True. That is correct. Individual isolation is like a critical first step to, or a critical component of the like selling the myth of like individualism, like the pure individual, which ends up making it harder for you to actually succeed at the things that like pure individualists or like cultists of the like idea of individualism would tell you that you can accomplish with like raw individual grit. It's all based on community. Like every barring very few exceptions, maybe. Like you rely on your community and your family, whether it's blood or like otherwise, to assist you in getting to any of the to just being successful in general at anything. Also, Lilo and Stitch hits way harder now that me and my sister have both come out. I can imagine. Every live action has been a flop. The only 3 good live actions were Jungle Book, Aladdin barely, and Lion King barely. Like, none of them are as good as the original. I haven't watched any of them, so I can't even weigh in on that. Hola, hi Misty! Except for Bill Murray and Christopher Walken singing, that shit was fucking gold. In what? Which one is that? In fucking your friends as anti-capitalists. Correct. Hello, fabulous one. Hi, Preston. How you doing? It's good to see you. Rex seems like she would be really nice to Princess Carrie. If you could do it, I would love that. I love being Princess Carried. It only happens very rarely. I know I missed this, but what the fuck is with the new Lilo and Stitch having Lilo separated from her sister? Yeah, right? Right? I just found out about that. That's like so distinctly contradictory to like every theme of the original. That's nuts. Murray and Walken were in Jungle Book. That sounds like a great time. Animation has so much more potential than live action. Well, especially for things like that. Like, live action has its... Like, there are... The thing is they're different mediums, which makes them good at telling different kinds of stories, you know? Like, in the same way that, like, you couldn't tell a story like the Magnus Archives in any, like, like format other than like a voice recorded podcast. Like that, it's like woven into the mechanics of the story. Magnus Archives fucking rules. It's an awesome. It's like a genre defining piece of media. But in the same way, there are things that animation works better for and things that live action work better for. And animation, yeah, has a lot more potential in like a lot of if there's any kind of like fantastical elements, usually it's a lot better in animation than it would be in live action, unless you have a huge budget and are going for a really like specific thing, you know? Like I'm just saying that Batman fighting what are basically gods only works in animation. That's true, because there's that extra suspension of disbelief, you know? Something like Dune, the Villeneuve movie, Villeneuve? The recent Dune movies, fantastic in live action because it relies on these big sweeping vistas of like the real world, you know? And they translate they break through that like suspension of disbelief level by making everything feel real. But by contrast, something like I don't know, like Arcane would, no matter what your budget is, really would not be served as well as like a live action versus animation where you can really fuck around with it, you know? I've forgotten how beautiful the animation in the original is. Yeah, it's real good. Oh, and Jumba and the villain never get a redemption arc, I guess? Oh. Great. That was apparently literally done because they didn't have the budget to animate Gantu. So they made a live action Lilo and Stitch and then like excluded all of the things that made Lilo and Stitch because of budgetary constraints. Fucking, I hate this. God, capitalism is the worst thing for art. You could do bits on animation, I feel, but not like the whole thing. In what? Like Dune? Or are you talking about Magnus Archives? Magnus Archives, I would argue that having any visual component makes Magnus Archives less good. It is so, it hinges on the mind running wild. Most Eldritch horror is better without a visual component. Not all, but most is better as a story where your mind just runs crazy. Dune the Musical sounds great. I'd watch Dune the Musical. Also, they took out the fucking cross-dressing. How are you gonna take the cross-dressing out of Lilo and Stitch, give Pleakley the dress and the wig back, and give her estrogen, and you fixed it? Yeah, that was actually what initially... Like, I already wasn't psyched for Lilo and Stitch because it's a remake of a classic animated movie that was very defining for my childhood. And since I am now entering into old space, I automatically hate that. But then I saw that Pleakley doesn't get to be a cross-dressing alien friend. And that is a cardinal sin. Like, that was such a core part of the original. I just don't, like, you literally, they like dragged all the soul out of it and just like shot it behind a shed. The Spiderwick Chronicles film shouldn't have been a live-action movie with CGI fairies. It should have been a miniseries made by Jim Henson. Yes. That would rule. We need Dune the Musical where Paul Atreides is played by Jack Black. No, please. I did like the One Piece live action other than the Yuffie actor. Fair, I guess. I haven't seen the One Piece live action, but I've heard that it's like the literal... one exception to like anime live action adaptations so far. Well, for a given value of live action, yeah, fair. Also Ving James was right there. He could have just been Agent Bubbles. I mean Ving Rhames? Doing the musical sounds great. I feel like it's one way. The just human stories that we imagined were better told in live action can be told just as well, if not better, in animation. Graveyard of the Fireflies and Wolf Children proved that to me. Um, so I think there's can be and are likely to be, right? Like if you're really dedicated to it, like like Miyazaki is an extremely expressive, like Studio Ghibli in general, extremely expressive, very good at those kind of emotional stories, and they like put a lot of budget and work into it. So like yeah, you can tell the very human stories with animation. That's true. Animation is a more flexible medium. Um, but like there is definitely a level of connection that you can get from like smaller live action stories or things with like I don't know, like Lord of the Rings, like the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies. Whether you like Lord of the Rings or not, those movies are masterpieces in large part because they were executed in live action. You could tell that same story in animation really well, maybe even more authentically to the book. But the way that they executed the live action like production value makes that particular thing like it elevates it be above like I think pretty much anything that you could do with animation. Maybe not. You could probably tell us maybe I don't know. Maybe it just comes down to you can tell any story in any medium, but you have to work within the bounds of the medium and like flex the story to play to the strengths of the medium that you're using. And the live action Disney remakes don't do that at all. It hinges on the mind running wild, me explaining why I like to smoke weed before topping. Fair. Just show the reactions of the characters instead of the Eldritch horrors. Oh, hi Mark. Hi Bri. Yeah, that can definitely work. But also like I don't know. Like there's a certain point where cutting away when you have a visual medium like that, if you're cutting away too regularly or every time something interesting is happening, I feel like that gets more frustrating than describing it. But that could just be me entering old space. Yeah. Capitalists see older media with insensitively handled gender nonconformity, and then instead of handling it sensitively, they just remove the gender nonconformatively. Yeah, nonconformative. Although also Pleakley's gender nonconformity wasn't even insensitive in the first place. Hard agree. Also, fun fact, David Ogden Stiers, the original voice of Jumba, was a gay man. Really? Puppets in stop motion are important? Agree. I want more puppets. One of my favorite sci-fi shows of all time is in no small part one of my favorites because of the puppets, and it's Farscape. And it's amazing. It's done by, like, the puppetry is all done by Jim Henson Productions, and it's fucking astounding. It's so good. Stick hand in the paint box and Chicken Jackie. It was actually extremely well done, but they did cut it down quite a bit. What were we talking about? I do think that there are some films that benefit from being live action. I agree. Not to deliberately nostalgia bait Merc or anything, but I do think that the tactileness of live action really benefited The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I agree, actually. I would agree with that. I think because Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was made live action and made live action well, it brought the story to life in a way that an animation would not have. You could still tell an excellent adaptation of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe with animation, but I feel like because it's a little bit more grounded of fantasy and you're able to like you don't need too many like bizarro CGI props to tell the story of The Legend, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, you know? So being able to set it in this like mystical world that you can see and you don't have to do any translation in your mind to like perceive yourself there, like that can definitely have a really serious impact. I think that an animated version could also have been potentially be gorgeous and wonderful, but it wouldn't have been the same. Yeah, well, clearly we agree on that. Also, I saw Merc die a bit inside reading Paul Astolfo, and I feel accomplished. Yeah, I hated that. In large part because they were executed in live action. When you ask Lyndon B. Johnson why his boss isn't it the cabinet? Work with the medium, not against it. Yeah, that's the most important thing. I would argue it is masterful, but we can make them in the style of Arcane and it would be equally beautiful. The cinematography still has to be there. Also, yeah, Disney live action movies suck. Yeah. 2 words, weed lube? What? Good evening, Mark. I'm still horrendously sick, but I was feeling better at first, so I tried to go to work and had to be unceremoniously sent home. Been there. Glad you're here with us. Glad you're resting. You better be resting. There's also the fact that if you do them in the style of Arcane, you will need to sell God's kidneys to be able to afford it. That is the other thing. The budget, the intersection of budget is fascinating because the more ambitious a project gets, the more outrageously expensive it gets in live action compared to animation. Like making a like indie film about like 2 lesbians who exclusively meet while one is working as a like graveyard shift cashier at a gas station and the other just goes there all the time to buy like wine and cigarettes is way easier to make live action and achieve the desired goal, right? Whereas like if you tried to do that with animation, it would be like really weirdly expensive and like time consuming by comparison. But the more like intense you get, the more locations you have, the more characters you have, all of that, like the scaling for live action cost goes up like exponentially, while the animation kind of goes up linearly, and then eventually animation hits like a plateau and gets like wildly expensive after you hit a certain point. But hey, good to see you again. Hey, Midas, how you doing? With animation, you can do anything, but one of the best ways to make a story is with limitations, and live action has a lot of limitations to work through. Yeah, it really does come back to working with the medium that you're creating with, you know? I want more puppets. Me when Merc gets a new outfit and I need to update my collection. Like, the joke of Bleakly cross-dressing isn't that they're dressing as a woman, it's just compounding the fact that they do nothing about Earth, but is meant to be an Earth expert. Or know nothing about Earth, but is meant to be an Earth expert. Absolutely, yeah. The joke, cross-dressing isn't the joke, you know? Like, the joke is just that Bleakly has no concept of what is, like, culturally normal, despite being the expert. You're 100% correct. I really hope that they bring the stage play of LWW from the West End to Broadway. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Gotcha. Also in animation class, we have an employability class for animation, and our lecturer started talking about how the industry exploded during lockdown and started a lot of new studios, but now a lot of the studios are shutting down and leaving most animators unemployed, and accidentally went down a doom spiral, and we were all quiet for a moment. Yep, that'll happen. Yep. Bleakly is like directly shown to be happy and confident and comfortable looking pretty. Yeah. More. Can I nom your ears? What? Are you just finding new body parts to chew on? Like every stream? Is this? I understand why people drop out of art school and pursue politics. Perhaps I should do the same. Stop it. I agree that The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe benefited from being live action. I can't remember her name, but the Ice Queen, Jadis. The character's threat level was conveyed in that actor's every movement in a way that I don't think animation... That was Tilda Swinton, wasn't it? That couldn't have been captured by animation. I would agree with that. It was, yeah, okay. Alright, that's what I thought. I was looking it up. Jadis the White Witch, played by the fantastically androgynous Tilda Swinton. Yeah, exactly. Alright. Merc just pitched trans Clerks. Probably. I haven't seen Clerks. Oh, Shmurk, can I recommend you check out The Booth at the End? It's very much an amazing indie show, and it's intimate and imaginative and only takes place at one booth, and that's it. Okay, yeah. Can you send me a DM with the name of it? I'm like, hey Parker, how you doing? If we okay, hold on, wait, let me make sure I have everything else caught up before I get there. Love Doge's emojis, they're all good. Do you have a problem, Mark? What do you mean? With what? To be fair, you seem pretty chewable. Yeah, that's fair, I guess. If we view the aliens in Lilo and Stitch, I am pretty chewable. As representative of the colonial powers fucking with Hawaii, then that puts an interesting light on Pleakley only valuing Earth as a wildlife refuge and not putting any particular importance on the people who live there, aside from as part of the ecosystem. Yeah, that's actually a good point. And I feel like that feels like the intended, at least if you include like the original deleted scenes and stuff, I feel like it's kind of hard to not read the aliens as a stand-in for like American colonial presence in Hawaii. That is a really good point. I'm pretty sure that was the intention. Yeah, that tracks. Even in the final version, there's things like the fact that the song Nani sings when she thinks she's going to lose Lilo was written by the last monarch of Hawaii. I didn't realize that. American colonialism in Hawaii. Damn, good point. Yeah. I believe y'all in whatever you're talking about. You're very smart and beautiful. Oh, thank you. We're talking about the political implications of the live-action Lilo and Stitch. I'm bothered by how accurate that take is. Well, yeah, no, yeah, that's the thing. It is absolutely, it's not even like, I don't think it's even a hot take. I think you're just correct. Like, I don't think it's even like if you read into it too far. It's just like, I think that's basically text that I just didn't notice initially, you know? I was going with the animated one. We're talking about the animated one because it's more interesting. The live action one removed all of the things that make the animated one interesting. And we're talking about the bits about the animated Lilo and Stitch that made it so compelling. Lilo and Stitch has some pretty deeply embedded anti-colonialist themes, which are often ripped out in the live action to make it more palatable to capitalism. Yes, exactly. Live action version is just a cash grab. Yeah, none of the heart. I kind of figured that's why I didn't bother seeing it. Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't care about it, but people have now seen it, and they're telling me about the things they changed, and it's been a nightmare. Y'all keep saying that animation can't capture the essence of live action, and I want to agree with you on some level, but I've seen so many styles of animation from Arcane Studio Ghibli. It's so varied that I can imagine that while not the same, it's possible to translate animation just as well, if not better. For me, and I only speak for me, as I feel the only part that needs to be human is Twitch, where I spend most of my time. Oh no, the connection between streams and people is connecting. Meh. Yeah. So I think what I'm getting at is that, and maybe this is a me being very, 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 very definitely autistic about things, but I need to. There is a translation process that I have to go through to visualize myself or to like visualize putting myself into an animated world or like experiencing those events from like my perspective. Like I either have to see myself as animated or try to like 3D render into reality all of the things from animation, which means that while you can tell the story and have it be maybe just as good or better, there is a different way that you emotionally relate to it. Maybe not you, but me. I relate to live action stories differently, but not necessarily unequally or like less intensely to animated stories. They occupy like two different paths of art medium, kind of in the same way that I relate to, I relate to or connect to written or spoken horror content a lot differently than I do visual horror content. You can tell those same stories, but they interact with you and impact you through different like mechanisms, and that can have an outcome, like an effect on the outcome. To me. I remember there was some controversy about the live-action Mulan film too. Yeah, I heard it wasn't stellar. People complain about woke, but really it's actually a big reason they go. They want that wokeness just like everybody else. I don't know if I understand. When Lilo pulls out the Pudge controls the weather bit, the reactions of the adults are pretty easy to read as, oh shit, this girl who lost her parents in a rainstorm is talking about her fear of bad weather and we are not prepared to respond to that. Yeah. That's true. AI art film win. Can't wait for it so I can shit on it. Oh god, please no. The AI bros are insufferable in film spaces. It's maddening. Maybe this is me being very, very, very definitely autistic about things. Hashem, halfway through giving the commandments. Evil things cannot enter this valley, but that is no reason to invoke their names here. Speaking only for myself, that's not what I meant to say. Many things that I've seen in animation could only have been captured in animation. Death Note comes to mind. The showing of Light and Elle's thought process wouldn't work in live action, yet it makes an amazing story. I was only arguing that certain things work better in live action. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Or even if it's not better, differently. You convey different ideas or use the same ideas with different mechanisms, and that does have an impact. One of my coworkers went to see it, and he neither confirmed nor denied if it was good, so I'm guessing it's the latter. Live action animation have their own strengths and faults. Very true. Labyrinth wouldn't have worked nearly as well in animation because in animation there are no puppets. Also true. I would agree with that. I think the puppets bring a lot of the charm because the right kind of practical effects, again, initiate a different kind of, or elicit a different kind of emotional reaction, you know? See. It's the accepted wisdom that live action is inherently better than animation that really gets me. Yeah, I disagree with that categorically, but I do think that they translate differently. People that complain about woke go where? Because they want to complain to the movie? I just don't know where they're going. It doesn't matter that it's woke, it's just something for people with real issues to complain about without real issues to complain about to distract them. Without real issues to complain about. There's like 2 typos in the statement that is completely locking up my dyslexia brain. I'm so sorry. It's definitely bullshit. I think it's important to keep the perspective that they're equally valuable art forms. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think they're equally valuable. We're in sore need of more Muppets and Lego movies. Aren't there a lot of Lego movies? Are any of them other than the first one good? I haven't watched any of them. I don't know. Also, Who Framed Roger Rabbit really would not have worked in any other medium. True. I agree. You need the live action as part of the bit. There are, and this is what I mean. Like, a lot of things are interchangeable. Like a lot of things you can do in animation or live action. And you can do anything in either, but I do think that you can do things better in some situations in either live action or animation or any of these other forms. Lego movies are stupid and fun and that's what they're meant to be? Hell yeah, okay, cool. Lego Batman is great. I'm mad we don't have a sequel. I heard the Batman one was pretty not enough. I really loved Lego Batman. Okay, noted. A lot of things are interchangeable. To chase her last night, trying to preempt me and my lover pointing out that we're lesbians. Oof. I've heard that every Lego movie is great. I've heard they're all trash, and I've heard only some are worth watching. It seems very perception based. That tracks. The first one, I feel like you really have to sweat to say that the first Lego movie is not good. Maybe that's just me, but I think if you if somebody came up to me and just like straight face told me that they thought that like the Lego movie was objectively bad, I would distrust many of their media takes. We need a new Bionicle movie? Fuck yeah. They're trash if you're against fun. Just don't take any of the Lego movies seriously and you'll have a good time. Wait, was somebody going into the Lego movie expecting Game of Thrones? Like, I don't know. Computer, fastest route to the fastest Phantom Zone. No freeways. Computer? Computer. I sent you the link to the show, and I'd love for you to check it out, but not to prioritize it over more important things. Thank you. I will try to give it a look. The greatest Lego movie of all time is the Toa Mahi mini movie set to Crashed by Daughtry. Lego movie is phenomenal. I agree. I love Catwoman hacking into a computer going, meow, meow, I'm in, meow, meow. I did good bits. My hot take on Daughtry is that he's proved that Christians can do rock music well if they treat their religion as an important part of their identity, but not as the only worthy subject for music. I agree. There are plenty of really good musicians that are Christian and have Christian themes in their music. I just categorically despise the genre of Christian music because I grew up with it and it's almost entirely slop. There's good stuff there, but it's buried under a lot. It's like how I feel when, like, if somebody says that, like, country is their favorite genre, I have to follow up with, like, what kind? Like, I really liked Flyleaf earlier on. I do like Flyleaf. I like Flyleaf's like first couple albums. I think they're actually quite good. And that's the thing. Like, Flyleaf is a band that very obviously has its Christian like themes woven into it, but in such a way that it does not make what they're singing about like intractable or impenetrable to people who don't believe in Christianity, you know? Foxy, you want a little There you go. There's a full Bionicle movie that was made, but they recently trashed the whole thing. No. Lego movie greater than Game of Thrones. Danny is trash. When if someone just dislikes the first one, I think they don't have much writing literacy and are letting the medium ruin it for them. Possible. If they just dislike it, it's like if somebody goes like, this seems well made, but it's not for me, that's fine. That's totally, yeah, that definitely understandable. But if somebody's like, no, this is a terrible movie, and like, I think that you have bad taste for watching it, I'm like, fuck you. Like that, get out of here. Granted, this is like, you know, local dog woman makes up a situation to be mad about moment, but fuck you. Maybe I get to have a little straw man as a treat, okay? I was never a big Creed fan, but my uncle was. Most Christian music is slop because it's not music with Christianity added, it's music with everything but Christianity removed, correct. And there is really good worship and gospel music. It's just that most of here's the problem. The problem is not even like singing a religious song. I like a lot of religious music. It's that specifically like Christian rock is so saturated by disingenuous, like, it's the same thing as with Stadium Country. It's like, it's a bunch of people copying the same formula over and over and over again and doing nothing interesting with it and not even being particularly technically competent or interested in the music themselves. It's like just copy pasting the same like 4 chord progression cycles and replacing it with like different versions of like We Raise Your Name on High. A lot of this is not all religious music by a long shot. I love Gregorian chanting. I love like it would it be Ismaili nasheeds? I like even like the little bits that I've heard from like religious music from like other like just even like religions that I'm not even like super conscious of or saturated with. Like I like a lot of religious music. I still maintain the Christians are the worst part of the religion by light years. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. I say this as somebody who was the worst part of Christianity for 18 years of my life, you know? Um, Avenged Sevenfold is highly Christian based, but they take it and go with the Old Testament God's wrath for a lot of their songs, while including His love in many. I'm not that religious, but I think their songs rock. I like Avenged Sevenfold a lot. No, I agree. There's a lot of really good, either purely religious or heavily religiously influenced music. It's just that there is a massive saturation of slop from the like Christian evangelical worship band circuit. House of Heroes, Christian themes in the music, but still fucking good. Let's go Foxy. What did Foxy do? What for the bark? Have you seen the rapper with something wrong with one of his eyes who was garbage and a perpetual victim about his music not being successful? No. Probably not. Maybe. Lego's been letting us down lately between axing the fan game and canceling Pride. Oof. Massive Power was a game, not a movie, and the demo was almost ready. Not the whole game, but it was still bullshit. Oh, yeah, okay, fair. Mark is a small, tiny puppy. Untrue. Local dog woman makes up a situation to be mad about. Faith whenever Merc tries to fight her reflection. Shut up! Lego's far too expensive anyway. Fair. I know that Skillet is fash, but they do have a few good songs. I liked Skillet for a while. Mostly when I was in my, like, I'm still firmly a Christian to, like, I am recently no longer Christian. I like maybe one Skillet album that if I went back and listened to it, I would probably still like a few songs from that, mostly through memory association, but I'm not a huge Skillet fan anymore. I don't think they're great. Lego started going downhill when they switched to all licensing deals. True. Christian rock, etc., dominating the 2010s AMV ecosystem. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, annihilated that shit. Like, I love me some gospel. Me too. I mean, a lot of really, really, really good music comes out of gospel. And a lot of genres originate from gospel too. Like gospel music is like the origin point from a few like really popular music genres and subgenres, and it's great. I love it. I saw an argument by a priest that Harry Potter of all things is really a Jesus retelling, and to be honest, it made a lot of sense. Leaving out She Who Will Not Be Named. I still like Harry Potter. I believe in Death of the Author strongly, but I can't unsee that comparison now. Yeah, as long as you're not giving her estate any money, enjoy Harry Potter to the fullest extent. I could get into like the I'm sure there's plenty of people in my community who just think that Harry Potter is bad on its own merits, but I don't care. I'm not invested in the actual property as long as you're not giving money to the actual fucking genocidal fascist who's spending her millions of dollars to now just directly try to remove all trans rights in England. That was a fun article the other day. Harry Potter's Christian and fuck. It's also like bigoted as fuck. Yeah. Judaism has some great fucking music. You gotta send me some. I genuinely really like religious music. I feel like the bits that I've heard, I've really liked of like Jewish religious music, but I wouldn't be able to like pin anything down concretely from like one that I remember directly. Grew up in a black church. It's so much good music. It was a culture shock to see what other people thought Christian music was. Like Lauryn Hill's runs were normal, and I thought that was what good church music was, and other people used to. I can't even think of a song that they made. It just doesn't register. Yeah. Christians are not the worst part of Christianity. The worst part of Christianity is Paul. That's a compelling argument. Which way are you going with Death of the Author? Oh, I don't know. I have feelings about the phrase Old Testament God. Okay, so, well, that fair, but, I think, I do believe, though, because, like, the biblical Old Testament, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is not the same as is it the Torah? I think, I think it's, like, derived from it, but I could be wrong. Um, which Paul? The Paul? I mean, granted, he was a Christian, I guess, but he stands head and shoulders above the rest in terms of shittiness. Are we talking about Paul? Wait, Saul knocked over on the road, wrote all the letters about not being gay. Paul, like that Paul, that Saul Paul, is that the Paul we're talking about? I mean, it wasn't actually about not being gay, but that's how it's been interpreted. If Merc not small tiny puppy, why Bork like small tiny puppy? I just bark small. Why does the Automod hide the word viewer? Because of the viewer bot spams. I can probably remove it at this point, but we got hit by a lot of them for a while, so that was the easiest way to like block it out. That a piece of art can be interpreted in any way by the viewer, eye of the beholder, as it were. The author's intention is meaningless. Once art enters the public atmosphere, all are free to take what they want from it. What they see from it. I would argue that while the I agree with you on a piece of art, the value of a piece of art comes from how it is interpreted by who is consuming it. The intentions of the author most definitely can affect somebody's perception of those things. Like, if so I kind of occupy a middle space on that, where like one of my favorite bands from a while back, the Orion Experience, I can't listen to anymore because learning about how shitty the lead singer was recontextualized what was being said in a lot of my favorite songs, and it ruined it for me. Because while I interpreted it differently, knowing the not necessarily the explicit intent, but the implicit intent behind a lot of the songs changed completely. Love or hate religion, you gotta admit gospel music is S tier. Yeah. May God bless and keep your enjoyment of Harry Potter far away from me. So at this point, you can't death the author your way through consuming Harry Potter when she's still alive and actively using Harry Potter money. No, but Foxy, we're not talking about financially supporting in this particular instance. I already kind of brought that up. We're talking about like I don't know, if you already have the book or something, you know, if you're pirating it or whatever. Yeah, if the money is going to the estate, that's different. But if it's not, that's a totally different conversation. Rap and R&B sample music super well. That's also true. Sample gospel music super well. Yeah. Started pirating anything, but I still like the work. Yeah, you know what? Go for you. Go for you. Good for you. Like fuck them up. It's not my thing, but I respect the immense talent gospel singers have. Valid. I gotta see if I can find some recordings of Jewish religious music that isn't by occupation artist. Ooh, rough. Yeah, fair. Howdy there, partners. Hi, Squirrel. Biblical Old Testament is not the same as the Torah, but it is entirely composed from Jewish scriptures. Right, but it is a different entity, you know? Like, conceptually. I would argue, at least. In the same way that technically Christian God, Allah, and Hashem are all the same entity from a point of origin. If you use them interchangeably, it's not like coherent, really, because they're all interpreted so differently, you know? I don't know. That could be that. Maybe that's a me thing. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy are the Torah. Okay, gotcha. Torah is the first 6. They just don't believe in the rest of the Christian Bible. Books from the Old Testament, they just don't believe in the rest of the Christian Bible. Aren't there more than that? I think John is the worst part, mostly because he is who they say made the modern church, kinda. Rome is who made the modern church. Lay that blame where it deserves to be laid. Then the rest of the Old Testament is also Jewish scripture, just Jewish scripture outside of the Torah. Fair. Torah equals Jewish, Quran equals Islam, McDonald's equals Christian. I mean, Bible. Yes. I was just I was just the entire point of this discussion was just that saying Old Testament God is referring to an entity that is theoretically linked to biblical scripture because it carries into New Testament, which makes it from a I feel like a theological standpoint talking about a different entity than the Jewish interpretation of that same God. Like the distinction, I feel like matters there. I'm so confused. Who the fuck is Paul? I know we aren't talking about Dune. This is religious stuff, Ashley. Dune or Pilled. You want to Bojangles later? You want? I don't know what that is. But I humbly request that the declarations about the nature of Judaism not be made by. Okay. I don't. Okay. I will not. I will end this conversation and we will not talk about it further. If we're not going to talk about it, then we have to stop talking about it. Because if I'm not allowed to weigh in based on my, what I learned from both my own reading and the religion I was raised in comparison to the way that you describe your interpretation of God from your religion, then there's not really a point in having a conversation on this. So, if I can't weigh in on how the God I was raised under differs, or the interpretation of the God I was raised under differs from how you describe your interpretation of God, then there's no point in having this conversation. Clap, 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 clap. Get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant, get pregnant. Guys, I don't. If I can't talk about the religion stuff, then I don't want to continue the religious conversation. Well, then what do you mean? I can only. I don't know. I don't know. You were taking no issue in any way with what you were saying? Okay. That. I guess? Okay. I don't understand. I personally don't see how else I could have interpreted that, but understood, I suppose. Whatever. I think what V was expressing was that the view that their religion was it the view that their religion was a proto-religion is the thing. Okay, so who was it? Right, was that like a generally? I don't know. I guess that I don't know who who it was directed at, so I didn't. Whatever. So you're a good 3 to 5 minutes behind chat. Love this conversation. No, I know I am. It was like more stuff was coming up, and it felt like I wasn't like able to contribute to it. Um, I'm gonna clarify, but I'm gonna take a little while to draft it. Okay, I'll hold off on weighing any more stuff in until I guess I get that. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna catch up on reading the things that are in chat, and then I can catch up without like commenting on it at all for now. That noise. Okay, that's on Death of the Author. Okay. Personally, can't really say anything to Christianity. I mainly grew up loosely with European Protestantism, but left all that stuff far behind me. I never even dipped toes into Catholicism and know barely anything about it. Same with Judaism and others. That's fair. I have a pretty high degree of like knowledge and personal familiarity with like specifically evangelical Christianity, and then like a tangential like knowledge of Catholicism, mostly because the particular sect of Christianity or Protestantism, I guess, that I fell under as a kid was very antagonistic towards Catholicism. So it was like a know your enemy thing for me at the time. Then later on, learned more about Catholicism because it's, you know, like the biggest branch of Christianity and has a lot of like cultural impact. So it's worth knowing where a lot of stuff comes from even from a secular standpoint. I want to make coffee and realize that I haven't cleaned my coffee machine because the coffee tastes suspiciously like Doritos. Why does your coffee taste like Doritos? Why does your coffee taste like Doritos? Germany, except for Bavaria, isn't really that religious, I would say. I didn't know that Bavaria was a particularly religious region. That's very interesting. Oh, wait, I've got a Discord clarification coming in. Oh, damn. Am I in trouble? Gotcha. Okay. All right. No, that makes sense actually. That clarification makes that I understand that more. V. I thought that was I definitely misinterpreted that. Maybe because I was in the middle of saying something directly about that when that message came up, and I was like, I was very confused about it. I was like, I didn't feel like I had like done anything out of turn there, but like I guess I try to be as respectful as I can to people who practice religion, despite the fact that to me it is at best an academic interest, and at worst a source of trauma. So like I try to be actively respectful to people who actively believe in these things, but I also like have a bit of a distanced theological academic approach to it, which I recognize can be bothersome, which is why I was afraid that I had stepped into that kind of territory. So I wasn't sure what was going on. Oh, you're not in trouble. You're my boss, I guess, but that doesn't make me infallible, you know. I do think that part of the misinterpretation was probably my phrasing. It's I'm very used lately to living in spaces where Judaism is the dominant religion and might not be phrasing things as gently as I ought to be. I guess that's fair. I am not perfect actually. Let's do oof no. Um, I think I genuinely I think part of it was that you have in alternating joking and like semi-affectionate terms referred to me specifically as the goyim when talking to me. So I know that's a broad term, but like when I've been interacting with you, I'm usually the one getting called that. So I immediately like locked that in as you talking to me, since I was also in the middle of talking about that particular topic. So I was like where the that came from, like it felt like it came like from a really sharp left turn. What do you think? I have a shrine dedicated to you? Fair enough, I guess. You know, I can see where the confusion came from. All right, cool. I'm glad we have that resolved. I I was like shit. I thought that I had completely like blown that out of the water. Yeah, I'm probably gonna rotate over to pro tip, goyim is plural, so you would be the goy, not the goyim. Good to know. Excellent. I'm probably gonna rotate over. Also, hi Eva, how you doing? I think I'm probably gonna swap over to Rogue Trader now. I kind of that whole thing kind of took the wind out of my sails for like just chatting discussion. I'm on my knee, on my fucking toes now. I know it was just a miscommunication and we've cleared it up, but it's hard to like recover on that. Depending on how slutty you're being. The Sheik's okay, noted. /J, is that like really start a harsh vibes captain? No, it's okay. It was already like, you know, like dangerous ground conversation anyway. I just don't want to ramp back up into it again after winding down. See, now I'm left wanting to do a karaoke night. Fair. I don't know, do whatever you want. Reasonable. Wait, games now. Reset brain. That's kind of where I'm going. Yeah. Jake says a very offensive term for a goyish woman. Ah, okay. Understood. What? Affirm this chatter? Ashley, I am proud of you for the work that you have been doing on advancing your living situation again. It's awesome that you have been consistently working on your plan to move, and that you have a meeting with the people there now, and that's really cool. And I'm just really excited to see where that goes for you. There's the connotation of she's going to seduce all our menfolk and lead them astray. Fair. Anyway, trying to plan a picnic in the park day with some of my Kuel. Hell yeah, that sounds fun. Death Wish coffee order? Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot to do that. I am so sorry. I will, send me a message for that too. I'll do it tonight when I order my eyeliner. The longer I'm alive, the more I start to understand Rick from Rick and Morty. You need to stop with the concerning, fucking, layering yourself onto characters that are distinctly misanthropic and showed like meant to be the bad guy. You gotta stop relating with them. It's not healthy. It leads you down a dangerous path. Okay. I'm just gonna grab the same title I used yesterday for this. Here we go. Um. Cool. And then. There we go. Cool. The longer I live, the more I understand the whale from Finding Nemo. But Merc, Rick is a pickle. A pickle Rick. Yeah, you're right. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Is this? There we go. Alright, cool. To be fair, the happy, pretty characters are usually, I'm just going to say legally blonde to avoid being mean. No, I get that. But this is not generally relating to bad guys. It's Donna specifically only relating to the worst people around, and we need to get you to work on that. The more I live, the more I want to carry pizza around in my pockets. Incredible move. I need to get my water bottle. I'll be right back. Is the volume too loud, by the way? I can never tell when it's just too loud for me and when it's too loud for stream, too. Because I have separate volume scalers. Let me know. Let me know how it sounds. Perfect? Cool. Relate to the whale from Finding Nemo because I, too, would be reluctant to swallow 2 live fish at once, especially if one is actively speaking to me in my own native language. True. But I'm special. I mean, it's a bit loud. Alright, okay. Noted. Noted. I'll grab my water, I'll be right back. I relate strongly to the fox from the Fellowship of the Ring because I too occasionally think that the hobbits are very queer. I don't remember that fox. This is... I didn't save. I'm glad the autosave has my back. I just quit the game. I didn't save at the end last time. That is wild. I am a dangerous and unhinged individual. If their intelligence is less than 35, they get +5 toughness. Race of the Oblivious. Boom. There we go. Let me see if I can remember what was going on here. Character screen. Archetypes. We did Epicenter of Slaughter. And it was... Did we want... Weapon skill increases your parry chance? Yeah. Cool. And then... Complete that. Over to you. I wanted, I think, willpower. Intelligence doesn't change. 5% more damage with non-burst ranged area attacks. So this helps you reduce. I think we're gonna do this. We want more willpower, I think. Probably. What does perception do? Reduces enemy dodge chance against the character's attacks. Let's do willpower. And here we had stabilizing factor? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm glad that I remember all of these. I relate strongly to Bob Dole because I too am older than dirt. Wait a second. I feel like I remember Bob Dole from something. Or when they let you do it, I checked Google and I bought this game for a friend already. Fair. You already have a Misty queued up though. That's okay. I'll add a second one. Fox passing through the wood on business of his own stopped several minutes and sniffed. Hobbits, he thought. Well, what next? I've heard of strange doings in this land, but I have seldom heard of a hobbit sleeping out of doors and under a tree. 3 of them. There's something mighty queer behind this, and he was quite right, but he never found out any more about it. That's delightful. I never made it that far into the book. We want more willpower, I think. When your Elizabethan theater is struggling, but you think that bringing in a big star and drama would help save it. Is that a Willie Shakes meme? Is that a Shakespeare joke? Like William Shakespeare. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was right. Good old Willie Shakes. Or as many of my friends call him, Bill Shakesman. I got as far as him talking about the grass. Fucking damn grass. How can you spend 3 pages explaining grass? Was he high or what? That was my problem with The Lord of the Rings. Or at least The Fellowship of the Ring. I didn't get past... didn't get into any of the other books. I didn't even get through the first few chapters of The Fellowship. It was just like... I ran into one of those big, long, descriptive things, and I was like, this is very nice language, but what does this do for me? It's just not my, it wasn't my kind of writing. How goes it? Hey, Trash Panda, it goes well. Fucking love the lore drops of the rings. Good. I'm glad. This was ballistic skill, probably? And there was, I think we wanted integrity? Point blank. Yes. That was the one. Perfect. Here we wanted intelligence, and we have be smart, and then we're gonna grab persuasion. Right. Okay. Yep. It's all coming together.
Keep your wits about you.
Now I'm gonna save, so I don't have to do that again. No, okay, that's what the new save would be. Right, gotcha. I thought it was just giving me that save file over again after I had just fucked everything up. Alright. Mantle of Heroism requires Iconoclast, follower. Can't be me. Can it? Okay, no, I can wear it. Perfect. What does it do? Each heroic act used in battle increases the wearer's dodge by 20% until the end of combat. That's pretty cool. I like that. There's gloves of endurance. Whenever the wearer of these gloves gets an injury or falls unconscious in combat, their allies get a +1 bonus to damage until the end of combat. Abelard! Where are you? There you are. Good boy, Abelard. What's this? Blade shard? Blade made from mysterious metal. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay. I think we're set. This, 3 to 5 damage, 6 to 8 damage. Take that last pistol. You don't need it, but you should take it. I could just do 2 pistols as my secondary. That would be funny. fuel as pistol instead of an auto pistol, because the auto pistol is not super cash money, friend. You get an extra med kit, right? No? That? There we go. Okay, sure. Why not? Why not?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Persuasion, right? When you've used an oblique euphemism to tell one of your goons to threaten someone, and they want to indicate that they understand. Read the opening line in a mob gun. Persuasion, right? Maybe one day I'll find the thermostat in this apartment. Good luck. And you just have to make sure that there aren't any dads in range to complain about you changing it. Alright.
Let us not dawdle.
Where the fuck do I go from here? I don't remember what I was doing at all. Heinrich Montag? Am I supposed to care who that is? Okay, so there's something back here. Apparently. Allegedly.
The air. Robo, Master Helmsman. Systems status report.
Shit.
By the Emperor. It's the Seneschal.
Mork, you're cute. Hi, Ashley. Thanks. Hey, Zarina. How you doing?
Tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
We need to re-establish contact with the Navigator's Sanctum. It's our only chance of escaping from the warp. Your words seem to knock the officers out of their stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. You hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under the stress. Abelard cuffs the crying officer without even looking.
Restore
Rude,
the voice
Abelard.
channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
Alright. He directs your attention upwards to the throne that sits at the apex of the tall staircase. How did you people survive in here?
Must have been Providence. It better have been the Emperor's, not someone else's. When they barged in here, the ones with the Master of Whispers, some officers charged them, but it wasn't even a fight. I grabbed whoever I could and dragged them behind the cogitators. Then, I prayed for our rescue.
I love giving Mark stage directions for chat, like old prospector voice. That there Johnny Law left the keys to his patrol car. Come on, boys. Grab a bottle of jug whiskey and get ready to drive down 2 roads at once. What's a throat goat? Is that like a llama? Because they kind of have long throats and look like goats. The only clue I've got is that they go cock, cock, cock. My wife promised to buy me dinner if I showed her one. /J. Oh, God. Astounding. I'm ready. Begin the ritual. I believe that camels are closer relatives to goats than llamas are. Perhaps throat goats are sort of alpine species of camel. Oh, I hate that. Theodora, the image before you is hazy, swaying in sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever is beneath this thin shell is constantly changing while still remaining the same. It has taken on the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true, surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire. The other, a vessel of ancient evil, bores into you. A voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp.
Who are you to to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own. So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
Oh, I hate that. Me when someone stabs me through the gut with a sharpened flagpole and goes through my purse while I'm bleeding out. That's a very strangely specific scenario, V. Are you alright? I'm ready. Begin the ritual. Me when I go in for laser. Rick has the build of a llama for that exact reason. Cold-blooded. Hate that. Thank you. Is that a reference to something? It's oddly specific. Yeah, okay. Alright. Thank you. Yeah. I'm saving my people. Do your worst, but you... Oh, wait. Hold on. It resonates and merges with the voices that have already dug their fallow roots into your consciousness. A moment later, you realize that all these voices are the myriad manifestations of the same call that has finally invaded your mind. I'm saving my people. Do your worst, but you can't stop me.
Lead them, mortal. Guide them. Persuade them. Force them to walk your path. You will need followers, for destiny is preordained.
This violent found to return
Oh, good.
the trophy.
Void Gear's here too.
A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
Yeah, nothing to read into there. We're gonna be fine. Did I just see a fake? Yes, you did. Keep getting thrown off when you get a Discord message. Oh, wait, is my... Shit. I don't have my, my streamer thing got turned off. Hold on. Let me remute, fucking Discord here. There we go. Alright. Better. Can't have everybody in chat losing their fucking minds every time a ping happens. They made a new update and streamer mode is fucked for many people. Okay, alright, yeah, it wasn't... I'm used to not needing to worry about it, because it has been working very well. So I was kind of surprised. Merc, I'm about to get into the deep New England lore. Were you in Mass for the big market basket strike of 2014? I was not. In 2014, I think I was in Texas? Maybe? No, I was. No, I was in Massachusetts, I think, still. I was still in Massachusetts in 2014. I was. Trying to learn to roll a proper spliff. Ah, good luck. You made a new update. Already read that. Sorry, I was just following orders. No, you did your thing. I got you. The streamer thing got turned off. Faith when Merc runs full speed into a fence and knocks herself out cold one time. Merc's Discord notifications going off for guessing. Thinking people care about me. People do care about you, Donna. Just because you're not getting Discord messages doesn't mean people don't care about you. Take better care of yourself. In your own mind's eye. Mad scientist, you broke into my house. All I want to do is see you turn into a giant woman. A giant woman! Ready's experimental injections. Yes. Yes! I'll take all the experimental injections. I hate that this mutes when I tab out. Wait, you were in the South Shore, so you probably weren't impacted much by the strike? Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't even know that it happened until you just brought it up. I was busy hating my life working at Subway when that was going on.
passion, the thread that will guide you, and the weapon of our return to me.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
A cavalcade of hazy glimpses of a future yet unknown passes before your eyes. A flash of crimson, purple. The images replace one another in a violent kaleidoscope without ever letting you get a proper look at them. Through the rippling mirage, you see a twisted image of Abelard, the loyal seneschal of the dynasty.
Seneschal, the Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Donna, you gotta lay off the self-deprecation and incitement of self-harm, or I am going to have to time you out. So North Shore and Central Mass were hit hard, but long story short, the family that owns MB is fighting again, so it sounds like the workers are going to strike. Ooh, fascinating. Okay. Which sucks because Market Basket is the only store you can get cheap groceries at. That's true. I've heard that Market Basket's really good for that. I just got here and I heard Giant Woman and my heart was impacted positively. Hell yeah, we'd love to see it. We like Giant Woman here in this channel.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty.
It takes time for Abelard to respond. You watch as he grits his teeth, unable to bring himself to say anything. Finally, he adjusts his blood-stained coat, straightens, and begins to speak. And
by right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision.
every time I hear a somber, formal announcement of death, I'm like, damn, bet there's a remix of this. What? I used to shop at Market Basket before the incident. What was the incident? I'm just gonna let him go. This tracks. I am the only one that is worthy.
Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the Warrant of Trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lady. It is because of her toils that we all still live.
The deed is done, mistress. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
Hell yeah. I do like that Lord is just actually unisex in this setting.
The Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members. Yet hope remained, for the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived, and through the strength of her resolve, saved those who were counting on her for protection.
It is like that, Brother Nature, yeah. Maybe incident is a bit of a strong word, fair enough. The family that owns Market Basket fucking hate one another? I did not know. Apologizes for accidentally calling someone mistress. There are some who can stand to learn from that soldier. Yeah, right? Abelard is a true ally. Yeah, that was my first job. What was Market Basket was? Damn. Did they pay well for a grocery store, or was it like, are they mostly the same, but with just like lower prices generally? Deep shadows of weariness can be seen on Abelard's face. Though the old officer's eyes are keen, they rake over you from head to toe. He frowns, mutters something, then nods to himself. Well then, your ladyship. You cannot help but notice that the seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings an involuntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Abelard pulls himself together. Why are you not talking to me, Abelard? Oh no, is most of the game not voiced? Am I gonna have to read a lot? Oh no. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. For many of those who are about to join us on the bridge, this will also be their first briefing. We sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. Some posts have had to be filled by the deputy's deputy's deputy, while others go unfilled entirely. And now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. I can bring it up. I can say you misspoke clearly. I'm the lady captain, am I not? Let's see them explain it. I brought it up already, but let's see them explain it. Oh yeah, most of the game is not voiced and it's a huge game. No, I'm gonna be so tired by the end of this. Holy shit. I still can't get over how this man's name is Abelard. This is an evil English nobleman name. I mean, that's like half the names in this game are evil English nobleman names. But yeah, that tracks. The full-timers, no, the full-timers get, good pay and benefits, though? Gotcha, okay. Lord Merc, yeah, most of the game is... Oh, okay, no, I already read that. I'm gonna be so tired by the end of this. Hashem at the end of the first day. There is no mistake, your ladyship. Lady Theodora before you was also the Lord Captain. Do not take your title literally. Think of it as a sacred rank that remains unchanging no matter who bears the warrant. You have been chosen by the Emperor to carry the honorable burden of the rogue trader. High Gothic, whence this title originates, is a highly formal language, and so a certain level of inflexibility is to be expected. What's on the agenda for this meeting? Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. The Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings, but this is a unique situation. I'm still receiving updates from across the ship. They are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, even so far as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepare to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, your ladyship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 decks away from the bridge, and they, in turn, will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. I'm ready to start the briefing. Summon the officers. With a gesture, Abelard relays the order to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. Can I turn the AC on now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, those bagels smell good. Is that a butter bagel? Nothing bagel?
Yeah.
I almost got a job at Price Chopper, but either I applied for the wrong thing or they put me in for the wrong job, like lifting crates of fruit or something. And I'm a subcompact man, so I ain't got that shit at all. Worked at Walmart instead, which sucked. Ah, yeah, Walmart, which notably subsidizes its employment costs with,
Clap, get pregnant,
United States welfare programs. Pain is getting in a standoff with a middle-aged white couple because someone put the normal price jeans in the $5 jeans section and they were displeased by the price of them. Oh no. You nearly got fired, but otherwise good. Slash joking. Oh no. Oh wait, you're talking about how goes the stream. Yeah. V and I got into a brief accidental heated exchange. Very brief. Due to a miscommunication. And it short-circuited my brain for a little while. U-10 Guardsmen, you have the honor to get an audience with Her Highness Captain Merc. Exactly. OMG, what did you do? There was... a comment that was not directed at me, I interpreted as being directed at me while I was in the middle of saying something where it would have applied and been a very aggressive statement. And so, it arguably used an ethnic slur. Also that! And it like, everything kind of ground to a halt for a bit. But we're good. We cleared it up. It just took a second to, like, clarify. We were both, I think, both very confused. I think everybody was confused. We were talking about religion, and things got a little temperamental. Abelard relays the order to the adjutants at the far end of the magnificent chamber. A dozen pairs of eyes bore into you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that. Yeah, I gotta watch out for that. Attention, officers. You've been granted an honor. Lord Captain Mercinius Grofraxis von Valentius will personally conduct today's briefing. Our most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard. As you wish, your ladyship. Abelard points to a tall, slender woman, whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Goals? Vigdis Suri Ota of the Ptolemy line, our new Voxmaster. It is an honor to serve your ladyship. The Voxmaster offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Ravor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain, and monitors the void around us, to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate ship. The bearded man with a pale, almost transparent skin, large dark circles under his eyes, and a dour expression that seems hardwired into his face, gives a sullen nod. Hail, Lord Captain. This here ship's as good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our high factotum, Janris Danrock, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers an obsequious smile and bows. It is an honor, your ladyship. You may trust me with all matters concerning your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have the 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance is responsible for the artillery aboard, the Infernus Master, whose crew work to prevent and extinguish fires on the ship, and lastly, the Drives Master, servant of the Omnissiah. The 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drives Master offers a salute resembling a dance, involving the complicated manipulation of all of the Tech Priest's mechadendrites, which are those weird little mecha tentacles they got. I forgot that name. It's such a good name. Would it lift your spirits at all to say you look lovely today? Your makeup is very well set, and as always, it's good to hear your voice. Oh yeah, and I really enjoyed the conversation. It's smart, blah, blah, blah. Weird smile. No, thank you. That does make it feel better. I do appreciate that. I like those conversations, but they are very, talking about them from the position of a public figure, no matter how small of a public figure I am, is like very, very tenuous ground for me. I have to be very, very careful about how I talk about it because it's really easy for anything to be misinterpreted. Obviously, as we've seen. So it's just like, I went into like oh man, did I, did I just do, like, a thing that I have to, like, retract and analyze now? And that, like, locked up my whole brain. And then it wasn't even that. So, it was just getting back into the vibe. It's just impossible. What pissed me off is they advertise the job as $10 an hour, but it's actually $9 or something, and you gotta hope the front-end manager lets you use the computer a few times to watch literal Walmart propaganda until you qualify for the money. Oh, that was like what they did to me at Rite Aid. The process takes like 6+ months. Yeah, they did that same thing to me. It sucked. I hate when I stray into a pirate ship and then accidentally sign on with the crew. When I say Walmart propaganda, I mean you go on a computer and do like a virtual tour of the Walmart museum, watch presentations on the meaning of the slogan, save money, live better, etc. Yeah, I had to do similar shit. And then I have a goofy little mishap where I whoopsie-daisy my tongue into the captain's throat. We just talk. And then she proposes to me, and we rule the seas together as pirate queens, and we're also immortal, and we have a demon girlfriend. I like wherever this is going. There's also a cat. This is why you need a sock puppet account, Merc. So true. Did I miss Morky getting canceled? Yes. Yeah. I will say, Captain, that if I'm gonna directly call you out in the future, I'll do it either in #staff chat or in DMs. That ain't for the hoi polloi to see. Fair enough. That's good to know. My old job also had this whole thing where you had to go through this big propaganda spiel to join. Yeah, I hate that. The corporate propaganda shit in jobs is a nightmare. Is that everyone? Unfortunately, our choir master, the esteemed Zachary Wise, head of the Astropath section, is unable to join us. He is in charge of communications with distant star systems. Master Wise has been in a trance for some time now, attempting to contact other planets in the Von Valencius Protectorate and inform them of Lady Theodora's passing and Kunrad Voigtbeer's treachery. But I will deliver a report to your ladyship on the Astropath's progress as soon as it is possible to do so. It is equally regrettable that 2 more individuals worthy of mention could not join us at the briefing. The Master-at-Arms and Confessor, Adalbert, the eminent Adalbert, must see to the funeral services being held for the fallen officers, of whom there are too many for him to take leave from the chapel, and Mistress Sarbach, who has replaced her late predecessor as our Master-at-Arms, is currently leading the search for any surviving agents of Voigtbeer. Voigtbeer. Oh, it wasn't corporate propaganda? Oh, no. I'm unworthy of seeing Morky canceled. Alright. Let's do Infernus Master. I wish to hear your report. Yes, Lord Captain. The tall man bows his head in deference. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties has been completed. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factotum. Post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies were expired in the line of duty. Abelard remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only. The lad is managing well so far. He can take the heat, so to speak. High Factotum, what have you to report? We are toiling day and night to compile a full account of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your ladyship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention, and that all lost supplies are replaced. There's only one resource that I cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. We have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and, unfortunately, this number is not confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. I don't like the cut of your jib, Janrus. We will be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Rykad Minoris. However, the planet, the whole system in fact, belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Trader dynasty. We cannot simply begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations at this level are a matter for the Rogue Trader. Especially true given Caligos Winterscale's penchant for attacking first and asking questions later. The kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets. Oh, and the kind of thick-skulled thugs. Rumbles Abelard, frowning. Drives Master, your turn. A voice distorted by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the forces that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, thank the Omnissiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. With great sorrow, I must report that the Engine Seer Prime, overseer and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board, fell in battle. The Magos was betrayed by the little flesh that remained part of him, a most terrible loss. There is no one among my comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. We require a replacement as soon as possible. Would someone care to translate the esteemed Drive Master's words? No, I understand. I see, thank you. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. The ship's sound, more or less, but without our Engine Seer Prime and Navigator, who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. We try to set so much of a toe inside the warp, I don't know what'll happen first. Our warp drive being torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Your ladyship, if you would allow me to interject. When we arrived in this system, my crew followed standard protocols and conducted a count of all available communication channels in the region. One of them was a novice Nobilite station. The station maintains complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located a navigator in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the God Emperor. Navis Nobilite? An ancient organization of noble mutant families whose genes allow them to safely guide... Oh, okay. There is a station of navigators. Gotcha. Mark, you know what my old job was? Oh, right. Yes, I do. I didn't think about that. I did not I forgot what your old job was for a second there. I feel like, unfortunately, there's one resource I can't replace single-handedly. People. Sounds like he's about to request to be assigned someone to impregnate him. Ah. Mark, pay attention to me? What? What did I miss? Did you do something? You weren't even saying anything. You didn't even say anything, Ashley. You just came in and said pay attention to me as the... whatever. Uh-oh. This sour candy melted together. On account of how hot it has been, I guess. You said it wrong. What did I say wrong? Did he say retranslator? Does that imply the existence of a detranslator? Maybe? Damn, I've been rolling some of these cigs way too thick. Oof. Eat the whole lump of melted sour candy at once? No, I don't want to. Rifling through the big rack of forms for one that lets you get assigned someone to impregnate me. Iconic. Oh dear, the sour candy melted again. It's all sticky. I'm just too hot. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the funny one. Fair. Right, you want a little... Ew, well... A bit of a replacing our staff and materiel for our big warp ship. Ooh, well. A little, the Lord Captain is dead. Long live the new Lord Captain. Oh, well. Alright, here we go. A sharp bolt of pain lances through your skull as if in response to what you just heard. You understand that it is not the God Emperor you should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during the translation to real space echo in your mind. I am the will of the Weaver of Destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of this maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. In slightly less shitty news, we can go round and round this system till our heads are swimming, as long as the promethium and supplies last. And if any thick as grok shit lowlives come sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out. So don't you worry on that score. Master of Ordnance, do you have anything to report? What did I do? I believe, Ashley, this is just in regards to the asking directly for attention, which we have brought up as a thing that we're removing from chats. And then the follow-up was people complaining and commenting about that. Yeah, we made an announcement about it a while ago. This is out of spite. It's not. I was just joking. I know. But it was something we brought up as like a thing that just kind of saturates chat when it happens too often, and that it's hard for me to filter through. You want the fit check? This is out of spite. What, for a fit check? Okay. You're not in trouble, Ashley. Those comments are just getting removed from now on. Nothing is happening. Just specific kinds of comments, particularly ones talking about like demanding direct attention or complaining about messages getting removed by moderators, are getting removed to keep chat clear, because we've had things where it just ends up as like a spiral. And that's something that we made an announcement about a while ago. Ashley was asking why they were getting removed. I'm just re-explaining that. That's it. End of discussion. You're not in trouble. If you were in trouble, we'd let you know. It's just clearing out what functionally equates to spam. Oh, I guess I need to turn the big camera. Morky's tyrannical Tridarch has begun. Yep, you got me. I have embraced tyranny. Printing the form out immediately. Yeah, big camera. Big camera. Hi. Oh wait, hold on. Side point. No, never mind. They're all the way over there. Maybe I'll do it in a second. It's just it's my classic. I wear this outfit once a week. You know, I like this outfit a lot. It's like my favorite pair of pants. It's one of my favorite crop tops. And it's easy. This is a simple fit. It takes very little effort to put together, and it looks good. So I enjoy it. Hi. There you go. And it's easy. Oh. Let me see. The camera. Been waiting for you to embrace tyranny for like a year. Someday I'll play the game Tyranny, and you'll get to see me not play the whole point of the game. And it's easy when my lovers introduce me to their friends. Nice, great outfit, understated and cute. Thank you. Am I crazy or does Merc look shorter on that outfit? Potentially, I don't know. I don't know when I look tall or short, particularly. Best part of the fit checks is the part where Merc grabs us all by the face. How many seconds is 600? What? 10 minutes. Yeah. I don't know when I look tall or short. Merc, you look short on your knees. Do I? I still come up to like, I'm still pretty tall on my knees. It's a problem. It's been an issue. It's been a compatibility problem before. That's a good girl. On your knees for me. Thanks, Doobie. My job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire when I'm told. But just ask anyone. We've got no able crew. No Lord Captain. Master of Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply. It is as if a dam has burst inside and all his pent-up emotions are rushing out. He doesn't get a portrait, so I think he's getting executed here. The ship's in ruins. Every second officer's dead, and now we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to Void knows where. Silence! The bridge's magnificent glass panes seem to tremble under the force of Abelard's roar. Enforcers, seize this mutineer. Holy shit, okay. So I get decision path here. Abelard grunts. If only one officer out of the whole lot has fallen to pieces, then that's not bad at all. Your ladyship, I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with the Master of Ordnance? The former Master of Ordnance, I should say. Besides find a replacement, that is, for we already have one lined up. Did I miss anything? Hi, Malo, how you doing? I had delicious Mexican food today while 3 children ran around the food store restaurant combo. Hell yeah, that sounds fun. I'm a visual learner. Counting is a sin. Unfortunately, the on your knees redeem doesn't actually make Merc get down on her knees. Yeah, I feel like that might... If I actually got on my knees whenever I did an on your knees redeem, it would need to be a lot more expensive. And I might get in trouble. I don't know. Maybe not. I might be able to pull that off, but I feel like that's a dangerous, like, Pandora's box to open, you know? I also want delicious Mexican food. The food truck Faith wanted to show me in our town seems to have closed or moved since I moved here, and it makes me really sad because she said it was really good. Your ladyship, I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. Me when someone mildly inconveniences work. I got steak burritos and cheesy pepper gordita. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're about to be Ruby PC siblings. See, the thing is, I don't have a job. Oh, that's so true. No trouble, but it's up to you. Up to me for what? What? Wait, what? I missed something. Just say the Lord's Prayer while you're on your knees. It's not pornography if it's a religious ritual. You underestimate my... You underestimate my conviction. Our Lady Horton Hell, cursed be her name. Ruby did such a good job with the giveaway PC. Oh, hell yeah? You know what they say about trans people who call each other siblings? Ah, man. Alright, Iconoclast. Stand down. Release him. I have no intention of punishing a man for a moment of weakness. Not after the terrible attack we have endured. Dogmatic. Execute him. Experienced Masters of Ordnance are few and far between, so for that reason, he may remain in post. I leave his punishment at your discretion, Abelard. I'm gonna do Iconoclast. Stand down, release him. Abelard stares unblinkingly at the Master of Ordnance. Cease your sniveling. You disgraced yourself and your entire clan. Enough, the hysterics are over. Let us resume. The Master of Ordnance stands up, wiping the blood from his broken nose. His face is the picture of shock. What just happened seems to be dawning on him only now, and the knowledge of the fate he so narrowly escaped. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members, and we require a new engine seer prime and navigator. Is that all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain. But bear in mind, this will not be the end of our trials. The ship's systems must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we will never reach Footfall without first solving these 3 immediate problems. Right. What can you tell me about the system in which we currently find ourselves? I cede to the Vox Master on this point, Mistress Tolleman. We are in the Rykon star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your ladyship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited bodies in the system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. The Navis Nobilite station has not simply failed to answer, it seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from the prison planetoid in the system. and Rykard Minoris itself is also not responding to our hails. But what is most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals from the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, a tech priest, and new crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the Navis Nobilite station and find out what in the void is going on. Thank you for all your reports. Dismissed. Iconoclast was Merc's nickname in college. I mean, kind of, yeah. I haven't tested any taxing games on it, but it runs Stardew Valley very smooth. Fuck yeah. I could afford burritos if Merc were paying us for our labor. I could afford burritos if Bezos paid me for my labor. Instead, I have to rely on donations, which you are all doing a phenomenal job of, and I'm proud of you. This is not begging for money. After we get to be in stream days, should I play this game? I really like this game. We will never reach Footfall without solving these 3 immediate problems. Fish in the Devonian, considering their gills, utter lack of legs, and fear of spiders. The spider one's a deep cut. I like that. Like, fuck, we're all doing a phenomenal job of donating. I haven't given you a damn... Like, fuck, we're all doing a phenomenal job of donating. I haven't given you a damn cent. Look, V. A significant chunk of my brand is built on not begging for money, okay? I earned that shit through services rendered, right? I wishlisted this game for when it goes back on sale. Fuck yeah. It's really cool. I'm liking it a lot. Your ladyship, there's one other thing. A confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora, Abelard hesitates, your eternally esteemed predecessor brought the ship here to this system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You, perhaps, are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything. And I shall tell you, the Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Coronis Expanse. A scattered, poorly explored region on the frontier of the Imperium, full of fearsome Xenos, treasures, heathen worlds, and the echoes of ancient doom. Sounds like my kind of place. I came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You are referring to the contents of that note, I presume? Yes, quite right. XC. Xavier Calcazar. Lady Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Heinrichs von Kalox. An interrogator, you understand. All I know is that he is somewhere in this system, and that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires. Then, deliver him to Footfall in the Furibundus system. Finding him without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. The authorities in the system, either the Navis Nobilite or the governor of the Rykard Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your ladyship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it's a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader. Soon, you must take up the reins of Von Valancius' protectorate. Abelard gives you another scrutinizing look, as if trying to gauge how long you will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he is about to offer some words of encouragement. Hold on, wait a second. We as a group. Yeah, we as a group, yeah. Spider one's a deep cut. I like that. Me when someone is complimenting my writing and then starts talking about my AO3 work. Now if Morky did give a private begging for money, I would consider. Yeah? Yeah? Is that a thing? Y'all want to commission videos of me begging you for money? Fuck it. I'll do it. Don't think I won't. I'm not above that. I believe that the business model goes in the other direction. Money first before private begging. Could be wrong, though. Generally, yeah. I have rates. Lord, no, and I do not wish to read the moment the spider. Don't strike me as the Spider King type. Deep substrate foliated Calcazar. Synthetic Calcazar. Calcazar substitutes. I don't get that, but those are fun words to put in front of Calcazar. Some of them weren't even written to impress various attractive queers. That's a lot of yapping. We need a mod that uses ChatGPT to summarize the blocks of text the NPCs yap at you. The game would be like 30 hours shorter, and I would hate it. I would hate that. The yapping is half the reason I come to these games. I believe that it would be an abuse of my mod authority to delete messages just for suggesting use of ChatGPT. It would be. Yeah, that would be an abuse of mod authority. Granted, I'm always tempted to abuse my mod powers, so that might not mean anything. True. The Sister of Battle grimly nods towards Adira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. She insisted on seeing the rogue trader. I judged that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. For a brief moment, Sister Argenta's voice sounds hesitant. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but it can wait. Speak with me when you have time, rogue trader. Adira's glazed eyes rove over those assembled. One word bursts from her lips. Daybreak. Adira, come to your senses. Damn it! Adira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your ladyship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future and it hit me so hard. My head is still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn. And it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? Do you think that we're hurting our captain's brand at all by actively discussing our own corruption in the chat? No, I think that's pretty on brand. Alright. Cannot extract any information of value from a single word. Can you tell us anything else, Mistress Class? But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? Samson in the temple. Oof. No, I know I'm not really a mod, but I maintain I'm not corrupt. That's true. You're there in case the other mods go haywire. No, not yet anyway. The voices are all going berserk, all shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Lord Captain, if you want me to take a closer look into your future, find me on the bridge and we can talk. Lady Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you would benefit from them as well. Psyker's bitten lips stretch into a wry smile. There's nothing else of value to report. I declare this briefing concluded. It's time to get to work. Miss T's killing mods and taking their swords. Yeah. Hello, great and powerful Merc. How many rogues have you traded? I'm doing a decent amount of trading. Most of it is rogue. Let's see. Back up. Okay. This is a really overcomplicated way of having a mods-only chat, but sure. What? What does that even mean? I wonder what did happen to the other V. That's true. Bonus Expanse map. I owe them a debt of gratitude for causing Merc to accidentally give me authority. That's fair. That's true. The events of Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader take place in the vast region of space known as the Coronis Expanse. The sector is composed of numerous star systems, many of which you will get a chance to visit. You'll find yourself scouring the void in search of routes leading to a new, uncharted systems, discovering more routes as you explore the expanse. What you see before you is the map of one such system. Star system contains objects you can interact with. Such objects are marked as point of interest. Okay. Oh, shit. Misty taking out all the other mods in all universes to take their swords until she gains godlike powers like Jet Li in the one, but just a really pleasant woman. Yeah, exactly. Wait, this is a 40k game? I thought it was the Neopets RPG. Now, you know, it does have that general vibe. Lord Captain, Astropathic Choirmaster Zachary Wise is asking to speak to you via private channel. Greetings, your ladyship. I can report that the choir is listening tirelessly to the Immaterium in the hope of picking up voices from the Dynasty's ships or worlds. However, we have heard something horrifying instead. Amid the Immaterium's tumult, something is screaming. This scream is driving your choir mad. Until it stops, we have no hope of contacting any of the Dynasty's worlds. It is coming from the Rykard System's Astropathic Station. We're going to pay a visit to that station. Thank you, your ladyship. End dialogue. Is this the Astropathic? Present planetoid. Is that the Astropathic station? Oh, fuck. What is this? Guide, make contact with the Navis Nova. Whoa, hi.
There
what?
you go. Fine. It's done. It's over.
Hi, thank you, Jill. Hi.
Give me my clip. Terrorist.
Yeah, it's Misty doing that. I'm not sweating. Why would I be sweating?
Dog tax.
Dog tax. Thanks. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Genuinely. Weird day. This has been a weird day. A weird day. But thank you. Hi. However, we've heard something horrifying instead. When you get over your time machine working and decide to pop forward and see what wonderful new social changes have happened in the decades since, gay marriage was legalized. I just poked myself in the eye. Oof. What? I'm not doing anything? I'm so confused. We're making up Misty lore. It's Friday night. Hold on. What does that do? What's that do for you? Fritos Act claimed to reduce the dog tax. Friday, Jew candle sunset, late. Oh, well, go get on out of there. Astropathic station. We need to visit that. We need to visit this. We need to visit that. We need to visit this. There's a void ship out there? Alright. Let's go here. Lord Captain, reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continue to maintain Vox silence, perhaps due to Urak 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We have also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Oh, sunset is in the past. I see. That tracks. I forget that you're all way later than me. I can't wait till we find the Warhammer 40,000, right? Are there 40,000 Warhammers, or is it like one Warhammer with a rating of 40,000? That's what I need to know. This is what Games Workshop doesn't want us to find out. Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the lore. Neither of those are the real answer. Is the actual lore answer. My fucking eye is watering because I poked myself like an idiot.
Aww, poor little puppy.
I know. Oh, man. Fun fact, if a company pays its employees more than $1,500 a year, they have to pay the Futa tax, which is fucking hilarious. Love that. So remains of interplanetary... we've also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it is the remains of interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our Vox transmission. Contact the station again. Contact the station again. I will negotiate personally. The Vox relays the cadence sound of grinding gears and clicking tumblers. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The station does not reply even after an official greeting by a rogue trader and the declaration of your intent to negotiate in person. Order the Augur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The Vox remains silent for a while, but then you hear static and Vigdis's measured voice. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note wave distortions of unclear genesis that are throwing off most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some fully depressurized. The signs of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So, the question remains, why are the esteemed navigators' heralds ignoring us? Okay. Will not invade a Navis Nobilite station without first acquiring official approval. Lord Captain, only the navigators are blessed with the gift of steering ships through the Immaterium. Anyone else would succumb to the same nightmarish influence it projects on the crew and the vessel. To attempt traversing warp space without a guide is a fool's errand. Forgive me for intruding, Lord Captain, but I believe it is my duty to remind you that the Navis Nobilite are highly respected citizens of the Imperium, humanity's guides through the warp. The power and status of a high-born navigator house is akin to that of your protectorate. To aid them in their hour of need is to acquire an influential ally. I don't understand. They're telling me that I'm not right? Hold on. Intercept signals. We've also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Okay. Yeah, let's land anyway. Commence docking. I'm back. Welcome back, Julia. If I had to pay food tax, I'd be ruined. Same, TBH. Alright, everyone. Everyone can misbehave as much as they want now. It's Shabbos. I ain't doing jack shit with my mod powers until tomorrow night. Fuck yeah. Warhammer is made from 40 karat gold. Ah, there it is. Just occurred to me that the orgy I've got tickets to is during the next Shabbos. Is that going to cause conflicts? I don't know the specifics. Did you ever do push-ups or squats way back from the beginning of stream? I didn't see that. No, I did not. Which one am I doing? Dock safely and may the God Emperor light your path. I think that was distinctly in the middle of the religious discussion, which I was distracted by. It was your choice? Okay, I'll do some squats. Choose party members? I can fit everyone? Perfect. In we go. Yeah, it was when the miscommunication happened. That would explain why I didn't notice, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna go watch some YouTube, but I'll be around. Hell yeah, we'll catch you around, Malo. Bye. Bye, Malo. Bye, Malo, yeah. For real. First several rounds after receiving an injury, character... Oh, okay, I already knew that. Got this. Cool. I'm out of booze. This is a disaster. I can't be expected raw dog reality like this. Donna, you need to take tolerance breaks or you're going to end up with a really serious problem. Just like, you know. I've been there. It's not a good path to go down. Let yourself be out of booze for a few days. BH Captain, any form of Judaism strict enough that that an orgy wouldn't be allowed on Shabbos would also just not allow orgies in the first place? That's a good point, I suppose. But also, I'm not going to make assumptions about pretty much all religion, all religious belief, for the most part, is, to a certain extent, picking and choosing what parts of your doctrine you follow or how you interpret it. So, like, I don't know. People bend interpretations of stuff all the time. The O in Shabbos is pronounced like the U in put. Shabbos. Put. Shabbos. Put. Put. Shabbos. Shabbos? That one? Was the last one the right take? Generally on my Shabbos, I just abstain from things that would stress me out. Ah, good call. Oh yeah. No, the last one was the most wrong. Fuck! Shabbos? Shabbos? Put. Shabbos. Now I'm concerned about how you pronounce put. Shabbos. Okay. Put. Those are two different sounds. Whatever. Do you say put?
That's with 2 T's.
Yeah, well, that was why I'm confused. Okay, that wasn't me misinterpreting. That one was actually just bad direction. I'm glad we got there though. That's good. Wait, no, I don't want to do it down there. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, 1 second. I have to stand in front of the AC. Okay. We're back. Okay. Rest well, dream of large women in a house in a field of green. You are at home in the house. You are safe. There's nothing waiting for you to attend to it. Nothing demanding your attention. You are at peace. There's no pain in your body. You can rest. Damn, I wish. It's a good one. Boy. I would never follow all the tenets of our religion, all of them. Yeah. Yep. Also, hello. Hi, Ruby. How you doing? Alright, let's go blow some stuff up.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve within these walls. My lips are sealed.
Confess! What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Those Imperial Guards, I think they used to be. Or actually, they're naval enforcers, I think, because they're all on a station for the Navis Nobilite. Nobilite? Mortal Emperor, deliver your servants from us all. Prayers will not help you, servant of the damned. Or maybe these guys are the ones. In the name of House Orselio, I command you to execute the infidels. Wait. Which one of these? Took a second for those guys to die. Shit. This is a space station? Yes. Master, we have some strange guests on the station. You missed with the shotgun? A tall man stops you with a gesture when you approach. Blood is trickling down the pearly scales of his weary face, and not just his own blood. Two jet-black, unblinking eyes are watching your every move, and the third one, the mark of a navigator's fate, is menacingly pulsing behind the lowered lid in the middle of his forehead. Step back, or I will unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Abelard, if you would be so kind. The Seneschal takes a deep breath. Before you stands her ladyship, the rogue trader Mercinius Gofraxis von Valancius, heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis expanse, and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out that Nobilite custom requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first, but given the unusual circumstances on the station, her ladyship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In this case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. There's a dangerous glint in the man's dark, shrouded eyes. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felek Christoph August, keeper of this place. So, you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors. This is great news. This is good news, Mark. We can be bees. Having said that, you must understand that Urak 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say you are not on the guest list. What is happening on the station? Where did these corpses come from? Betrayal. A most banal thing in the life of the Nobilite, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orselio, the second keeper of Urak 5 and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress. Most unforgivably, they dared to take her prisoner. Greedy scum. I swear by the throne's light their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. Felek falls silent for a few moments and then furiously slams the end of his staff into the floor. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. What kind of help are you talking about? I would never ask you for such a favor under different circumstances, and yet... Felek takes his hand away from his ribcage, notices blood, and winces in pain. And yet Lady Cassia's well-being is above all. I haven't got many people left, and my wounds are too deep for me to act with precision and swiftness. But you may actually succeed. In order to ascend to the mistress's chambers, you will need to remake a holy relic sanctified with the blood of Lady Orselio herself. This is the control rod of the elevator's machine spirit. I have one part, and the other was lost during the mutiny. But even this relic will be of no use unless the elevator mechanism is powered. How do I remake the control rod? I have a phylactery containing the mistress's blood. It needs to be taken to the laboratory, which is located behind one of the reliquary doors. The most ancient of sacred mechanisms will help to rebuild the rod. The tech priest ceaselessly performed the rites of appeasement so that the machine's spirit would serve the house in its time of need. The fateful hour is now upon us. How am I supposed to power the elevator? The station's main cogitator is situated in the guard room. Just enter the correct command sequence and the sacred mechanism will do the rest. That makes sense. So what have you decided, descendant of the von Valancius line? I will rescue your mistress, but in return I will require that House Orselio sign a contract with my protectorate. Felix's reply sounds curt and tired. So be it. Hurry. The mistress's safety is all that matters. But should you fail, our arrangement is finished. Let's go. I call being a tech priest if you get one? Yeah, fair enough. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if we're gonna get tech priests, but I would love to have one in my team. Corpses were mauled by a force far beyond any mortal capacity. The faces are twisted in pain, and the hands are fused with improvised weapons, tools, scissors, and cutlery. Ooh, gross. Any treasure to be had?
Bright, pure color. And it's all riddled with horrible veins that carry the poison of fear and pain throughout its body. Who are you? Why are you crying?
Okay, Adira, sure.
The witch is
Horrifying.
talking about the enemies of humanity who set upon this abode of noble navigators. Then our weapons will soon dispel their wicked misery.
Let's see. Ooh, we can jump over this. Sweet.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Yeah, Abelard's got me on the athletics checks.
I always have a backup.
We should deal with this.
My sight.
Paused? Or paused? Why? At the ready, the conspirators are trying to break through to the guard rooms. Wait. Are we? Okay. Fascinating. Crap? Whoa. Hold on. Horrifying. I thought that was carpet.
Never doubt me.
Grapple trigger dealing damage.
Keep your wits about you. Success is the only outcome.
Most of these unfortunate souls took their own lives by slicing their guts wide open. Great! Awesome. Good start. I kind of feel like playing Mechanicus. I haven't played Mechanicus. Is it good? I just know that like one of the best pieces of Warhammer music comes from it. Stand firm. We must not let the miscreants defile House Orselio. So these guys all think they're on House Orselio's side. And those guys out there all think that they're on House Orselio's side. So which one is actually the one that I'm working with? Yay. I haven't either, but it starts with the moment I perceived the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. That's true. That is where that line comes from. I forgot about that. Argentina. Here. Okay. Can we... It is a little... Changing the person I have selected, it seems a little inconsistent, and it bugs me. But here I am. I'm fine. Fine. Start the battle. Adira goes first. Damn, they're just a little bit too far away, huh? Why? What? Am I tripping? No? Okay, whatever. We'll just zap those two, I guess.
That is not my
Too
destiny.
far. Bolted those two idiots. I literally bought the game just because of that. Good reason to buy the game, I think. Add a vulnerability exploit there. Does he even have any armor? I don't think so. So we'll end your turn. Abelard. Nothing going on there. Oh, yeah, I didn't know Adira was like that. Yeah, Adira rules. I love Adira. Endure. Yes. We'll endure because he's probably going to take all of the damage. We don't have any more movement ability.
Strengthens me.
Okay, solid. We're safe. We're fine.
Weapon at the ready.
I'm gonna fucking electrify the shit out of these people.
Hand in hand.
Can I... What's my range? I can hit these guys, huh? Okay. So I'm going to... Expose weakness on you. And then... Headshot? Headshot? Did I miss? I missed. Never mind. That's on me. Okay. Noted. Whoops.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Alright.
The enemies of the Emperor will
Still,
be
though, nothing
undone.
beats Argenta swinging her massive gun around. Yeah, we love ladies with big guns. Especially when they swing them around. Is that gonna kill? It might kill. It'll kill if it crits, I think. Let's go with you.
None can escape the
One.
Emperor's judgment.
2.
As the Emperor commanded, strike is a prayer.
3 momentum for each enemy that is either... No. Save that for later. Oh! They friendly fired! They killed their own guy! These poor idiots. Wow, Argenta's having a bad time. Alright, Adira. Are you in range now? No? We just blitzed that idiot? Yeah, okay, cool. Adira just turns people into soup. That's like, she is a machine that turns humans into soup. That's her whole plan. We don't have the ability to charge them. So we're just gonna keep running and let's buckle down. Very good. Off you go. Apparently we've elected a new super president in the landslide managed election. I'm so proud of Super Earth. Good for them.
My ears are ringing. My faith strengthens me.
High momentum.
What was that noise? Okay. I'm just gonna move out here because I don't think they have the range to kill me. We're going to expose weakness, perfect plan, or that was analyze enemies, I guess. This is expose weakness.
I'll make it happen.
And then Deadeye shot right there. Oh, that was huge damage. Look at that. Look at that. He went from, that was 26 out of 28 damage. Fucking gnarly. Get killed, idiot. Firearm mastery, number of extra attacks equal to their weapon. So what we're gonna do is run up here with the Argenta. And a little bit of this, maybe? Yeah? Yeah.
Notice for the
Perfect. That was exactly what I was hoping for. Great. Now just don't die. And makes it even better if they friendly fire their own people. Good. Good. Lovely. This is going swimmingly. This is good news.
I know what is to come.
Here. Can Adira reach any of them? No? Okay. What about that one? No? Alright. We'll just end there. Abelard can go up here and then endure again.
I will do my duty.
Okay, one sec. I'm feeling kind of weird today, honestly. You can have 2 sec. I might need more than 2 sec. I think I need to take the day. I think I'm gonna call it. I know it's like really, really early. We kind of barely got started, but I don't know. I'm just not. In a good headspace. So, I will catch all of you later. I am, sorry for the sudden downturn in the vibe. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid out on. Anidro? Sure. Cool. Playing Street Fighter. I don't know anything about this channel. I hope everything goes well. I'm just going to send it because I need to get off camera. Thank you all for being here. I will catch y'all later. Tomorrow. Hopefully. Probably. Bye.